What's up, everyone? So, I am reading a new book on the history of jazz, which I used to teach, but there's a lot of jazz that's happened in the last 30 years that aren't. It's not part of my history that I taught. What is the topic tonight? Let's see. Okay, yeah. What was this book, Renzo asked? It's called The History of Jazz by Ted Gioia. Gioia? I don't know how to say that. Gioia. I picked it up recently. It's Oxford University Press, and it had some good reviews on it. And it's got very small print that's really close together. And I just started reading it. Got a lot of citations in the back. I mean, it's really... the spacing's real tight, and the font is very small on it. I know that that's kind of a weird thing, but it's about where the end notes happen. It's 388 pages. So I'm going to see if I didn't know about gent until you're talking about it, or Rick does a gent video. I've done gent videos. No good for our eyes, Peter. That's right. That is correct. I'll just put my glasses on and read it. What's up, Harry? I just talked to my Aunt Penny. I was just video chatting with her. Deb, I don't know. I literally just cracked the first chapter, read the first couple of pages. So I'm just getting going with it. But I decided I have to start reading. I got to start reading, I don't know, a book a week or so in order to I want to brush up on the things that like in jazz history, things that have happened in the last. I don't even know if this book goes to it. I don't even know how far. What's up, Janine? You were on FaceTime. Well, I was just on FaceTime with her. That's my cousin Janine, everyone. So I want to catch up on the last 30 years of jazz since I was, I finished. My last year of teaching, when I was teaching in Ithaca, was in 1992. So that's 26 years ago. So I missed 26 years of jazz history. Now, obviously, I know some of the things that it's not Janine Beato. Janine, I found a cousin of ours, or a cousin of ours found me through 23andMe. I'm going to chat with her tomorrow. But she lives down here in Georgia, believe it or not. What's with all the falls around Ithaca? Had no idea. Ithaca is, I know, isn't this weird, Janine? We're third cousins. Both of us are. I'll tell you about it. Message me. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow after I talk to her. But we're definitely related. I'll email you. We're definitely related. She knew all the correct people. She's adopted and doesn't know anything about her family, and that's why she did 23andMe, and then she found me, and so I'll chat with her tomorrow. Ithaca and the falls. So the falls in Ithaca, so there's all these gorges. There's a saying. Everybody has these T-shirts that says Ithaca is gorges, and during the Ice Age, 10,000 years ago, when the glaciers were receding, they carved the Finger Lakes, and not only did they carve the Finger Lakes, but the those gorges in Ithaca were carved by water. And they have some amazing, amazing gorges that go right up through the center of town, right up to Cornell University. As a matter of fact, Carl Sagan lived in a house, I think I've mentioned this on here before, that was built into the side of one of the gorges. Was it Cascadilla? I'm trying to think of. You could hike it. You could hike all the gorges, but there are some. There's a. What is it? Taganic Falls, I want to say, is outside of Ithaca, about 15 miles or so, and there's a waterfall that's got to be 200 feet high, something like that. It's unbelievable. And there's one right at the entrance of Cornell. There's a gorge when you go right over the bridge to get onto the campus. It's incredibly beautiful. And those Finger Lakes are amazing there. I've got some great pictures. I need to post them on Instagram. I have some beautiful pictures of when I used to hike through the gorges all the time. Highest single falls east of the Mississippi. That's correct, Eric. Is in Ithaca, New York. Is Ulysses coming home at last? Nice, Renzo. That's what I like to see. I like to see a little, serious literature referenced here, right? Never been in the New York area. Well, it's Ithaca is about a 4-hour drive from New York City, right in the middle of the state, and upstate, anyways. And it's just an absolutely beautiful place. I love living there, and that's right, Harry. So all along Cayuga Lake, that Ithaca is at the end of Cayuga Lake. On one hill is Ithaca College. On the other hill is Cornell University. And then it comes down into the town, and then the lake is right there. But up alongside the lake, because it has very steep hills, there are vineyards all the way. The Cayuga Lake is 48 miles long. That's it's the biggest Finger Lake. And it's absolutely beautiful. I think it's about 3 miles wide at its the biggest part, which is probably about halfway up the lake. Is Ithaca good for musicians? I don't know. I haven't been back there in so long. My cousin Janine says it's so pretty. It is. It's one of the most beautiful places. I mean, really, honestly, the whole Finger Lakes is incredibly beautiful, but the roads 5 and 20, that's right. 93 is one of the roads that goes down. No, 96, and then 89 runs right alongside the lake. So I would always drive when I'd go up to Rochester to see my family. I would always drive. I'd drive down 89 on the. That would be the west side of the river, and it's the most beautiful drive. Oh man, you drive 50 miles of your drive is along the lake with vineyards on on one side and the lake on the other, and it's just incredibly great. So, Skinny Atlas, Deb, is one of my favorite places. That's a gorgeous town. That's at what is it? Cayuga Lake, I think it's at the end of. So at one end of Cayuga Lake is Ithaca. The other end is Geneva. Wait, no, Seneca Falls? No, Geneva, I think. And then you have Seneca Lake, is that the one next to it? Or maybe Utica? No, Utica is Cuca Lake is at one. Utica's at one end of it, I think, or maybe no. Utica, I think, is one end of Skinny Atlas. Is Utica? I can't remember now. It's been a while. I have to look it up. I got to look it up. Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen is one of the. That's at the end of Seneca Lake, I believe. But yeah, Skinny Atlas is an amazing town. That's a place I would love to have a house up there. Never been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Matter of fact, the last time I was in Cleveland was right before it opened. It's been open for a long time. I don't know when it opened, but it's been a long time. When am I going to have an artist in residence video? Document a few sessions. Okay. Utica, New Hartford, Joe Bonamassa. That's right. Bob Moog lived in Trumansburg, which is about 30 miles from Ithaca. That's where the synthesizer was invented. And Trumansburg had a great club that I used to play at called the Rongovian Embassy, or we just called it the Rongo. And the Rongo is about 2 minutes from Bob Moog's old place. And they have it's a New York State landmark where Bob's house was. And, or maybe a shop. And it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. The Rongo is still there. It is, Deb. Yep. As far as I know. Harry, I think It's a Wonderful Life was supposed to take place in a fictional amalgamation of the Finger Lakes towns. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Better than West Coast music universities? It really depends. Really, really depends. You never thought you'd hear that name again, Janine, right? Rongovian Embassy. Now, I haven't played there since the 80s. I know that for sure. I haven't been there since the 80s. I had a really good friend that lived in Trumansburg, and I would drive out there to hang out with him all the time. And, yeah, it's been a long time. Oh, man. Did I know Brooks from the Rongo? Was Brooks the guy that owned it? I can't remember now. It's been a long time. It's probably been, since I've been to the Rongo, it's probably been since I left Ithaca in 92 or 91 or something. What about a master class in Belfast, Titanic Town? What about it, Ryan? Are you bringing me there or something? A master class. Love to do it. I still have to figure out what my talk's going to be at is that the New York area the same one Stephen likes to describe in horror novels? Yeah, pretty much. Probably. Yes. So I'm doing a live stream on your missus is an event organizer. Well, organize an event. I'll come to Belfast. No, it's the live stream for when I'm in Germany. I'm doing it on Friday. It's at 8 p.m., which is in Germany, which is 2 p.m., which is the guy that runs the GitCon festival apologized to me that it's, we're doing it at 8 o'clock. I said, well, no, that's actually perfect. My live streams on my main channel, I always do it 2 in the afternoon. So, Otisco, Owasco. That's right. I remember those now. Botansky Atlas Lake. Yeah, that's right. Owasco, Otisco. Oh, man, that area is so beautiful. Thomas, just completed your first piece at 67. There you go. Never give up, man. Hey, Aunt Penny. Aunt Penny's here. Are you allowed to bring a guitar and demonstrate some jazz theory? Well, I'm not bringing a guitar because since it's at a guitar factory, I figure that I don't have to. Say hi to Aunt Penny, everyone. I received it, Harry. You'll get it tonight. I did. Yeah, write me an email. Write me an email, Ryan, about that. So, the factory, George, is the Warwick factory. That they make Warwick guitars and or Warwick basses and Framus guitars, and I guess Framus amplifiers. But GitCon is a they bring manufacturers from all over Europe. Yeah, so different manufacturers. Somebody reached out to me from PRS and is going to was talking about bringing a guitar for me to play or something, and so I'm staying a couple extra days. I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to Leipzig to see the Bach Museum and do a video on Bach. I have to find somebody that's German to help me out, somebody that lives there or something. I figure that I'll be there for a week. I'll find somebody. I need to get somebody to help me film and somebody that speaks German. Since Aaron can't make it. This is the second GitCon. So, yes, guitar convention, GitCon. Why music blockers on YouTube are ruining music legacy. So Renzo, it's interesting. Aaron was telling me that on the west side or the east side of Germany, there's not, you'll find places where there are people that don't speak English. So, Taylor, you're sick of seeing songs? I'm not sick of banning people. It's called music history, my friend. That's the deal, man. Like Nirvana? Boy, you're really pushing it there. With your name, you fancy yourself a fast guitar player or something, right? Yeah, like Nirvana. Guess what, Taylor? Goodbye, Taylor Shred. Give me a break. Oh. Banhammered. Gone. Boom! Where's my gavel? Too bad. I'll make sure I ban him on the main channel, so when I do Dream Theater and some of his shred bands, he can't comment. So there you go. I'm sure he's giving me a thumbs down right now. Renzo, there you go, right? Kurt Cobain. All upper extensions. He's like a bebop player. ninths, 11ths, sharp 11s, sus 4s, 13s, but using them properly. Using them properly. Let's see. YouTube lives Germany. He's the one that started Get Connell. He's no longer involved. Oh, cool. Can I permanently ban them? Of course I can. They're permanently banned. I can unban them, but I won't. Yeah, so that's when I think of oh, hold on one second. I thought it was too much. Sorry, I don't mean to be texting. Yeah, so so the people that complain about Nirvana in the video, just like this guy, this Taylor Shreds guy, I got no patience for. That's all I have to say. I do, we talk about all genres, all the time. So, how is he a troll? He's not a troll, John. I didn't say he was a troll. He just makes obnoxious accusations. And, hold on. That's right, Billy. That's even better, Scott. There you go. But trolls have no. Nari, what's up? Trolls have no place here either, though. So, but anybody that tells me what I should do on the channel or why am I doing this, I'm doing it because it's my channel and that's what I want to present to people. So there we go. As a matter of fact, ironically enough, I was looking at my Twitter and Krist Novoselic followed my Twitter today. Either today or yesterday. And I couldn't believe it. I was looking there and I said, wait a minute. Krist Novoselic. You're right, Larry. That they are trolls, all of them. He did watch my video. He somebody what do you call it when you put someone's thing on Twitter, tagged him. Is it tagging? Is it tagging on Twitter? I don't even know. But somebody tagged him on Twitter and he must have watched the video. And I said what a great bass player he is, because he is a great bass player. I love his bass lines. So I thought that was so cool. So I'm going to DM him. Tagged him. I'm going to DM him and see if I can interview him. I'd love to interview him and Dave Grohl. Hashtag, that's right. That's the difference between pre and post internet. When you had to really hunt for knowledge, you were hungrier and more humble. Is that actually mentioning on Twitter? Thank you, Janine, for the proper term. I knew there was a proper term for that. Deb makes a very interesting point. The difference between pre and post internet. When people had to really hunt for stuff, they were definitely more humble. But you know, if you don't control this stuff like that, your channel does not work. And I'm a real believer of that people that don't control their comments, that's why I've always had moderators. I learned really early on, honestly, I learned with Facebook when I was doing Facebook Lives, is that I was, you need to have a moderator. Not here on this, because this is, since I don't put any tags on this channel just grows incrementally, you know, with, I don't know, 10 subscribers a day or something like that. It's just, you know, it's just, if you don't control it, then you just get these channels that people don't want to leave comments on, honestly. Sal, let's see. People sticking up for Kurt as a writer for years in music school. Were people trolling when using music school? So I'll tell you the story because I didn't tell this in the thing. When I was my second to last year of teaching at Ithaca, Teen Spirit came out because the record came out in November of 91. But it was a huge hit on the radio. And I wrote down the melody to Smells Like Teen Spirit. Peter, I like that. Controls. So I wrote the melody down to Smells Like Teen Spirit in a theory class, and people came in, they were looking at it, they didn't know what it was, and so I taught a lecture on the melody to Smells Like Teen Spirit, about how it's a perfectly constructed melody. And my students were amazed at it. They all knew the song. It was a huge hit. There you go, Brian. Do I have a video series that follow the book? I'm going to eventually. I'm also going to have an audio version of the book. That's a thing that's coming soon. An audio version with all the examples played. Andre, we are going to be doing more of that. Yes. Okay, so Aaron says here, just thinking of a roundtable discussion between various YouTubers last night. Might be some different takes. So all the YouTubers at GitCon, we're all going to be there. So the first, so every night somebody is going to do a live stream from there. Adam Neely, myself, Pete Thorne, Dave Walleman, what is a German guitar guy? Is that what it is? And it's 5 people, and I'm on the last night. I'm on the Friday night. But I want to have something. So I need to figure out something that that makes for a good talk. But like I said, it's I don't think Glenn is going to be there, Scott. I'm pretty sure he's not. Thoughts on the whole YouTube TV idea? You know, I've thought about that. I mean, I have enough episodes that I could actually make my channel like a TV. I could upload the stuff and have it be a 24-hour TV channel. I have enough content for that it would probably run for weeks without repeating itself. Is this talk going to be a group that's totally familiar with you? It's going to be other YouTubers, Subi. So it'll be people like Adam, people like Sean Daniel, right? And I don't know who's going to be there, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. So I'm doing the live stream, and I'm doing another talk, I think. I'm not sure. Rick is not going to be there for it. I don't think Rick is coming on this. But I have to find a good topic. Benefits of high information music. Okay. I'm taking requests right now from everyone on talk topics. When you figure out the topic, I know you guys will come up with the awesome title. Okay, so this is a topic that Aaron and I were talking about that he thinks I should do the video on. And the idea is how early 20th century composers abandoned tonal music for atonal music before they had explored before they'd even gotten into things like modes. And I don't mean like the Renaissance era modes. I mean like the kind of stuff that we talk about on here. All the different modal sounds. It's when it came to, so you had Debussy, you had Ravel that were really exploring a lot of new sounds, extended chords, things like that. But then people like Schoenberg and the Second Viennese school moved right on into atonality, and then very quickly into serial music. Spent almost no time in atonality. But even in atonality, there were so many things. There's so much harmonic language that jazz players actually took over with after that. But not right. If you think about it, when did Schoenberg die? Let's see. Stravinsky lived to 71, I think. Schoenberg was 53, maybe. Bartók, 1945. So you figure that Bartók died. I want to say Berg died in 45 too, or Webern died in 45. I have to think about this. There wasn't a natural when modal jazz was happening in the 50s. All those composers were pretty much beyond, beyond their kind of the when they were at their peak writing, and there was nobody that was exploring there. I mean, there were some people that were exploring some of these modal sounds. There is a piece that's by Alan Rathshorn that's a concerto for oboe that uses a lot of these sounds, a lot of these modes of the melodic minor scale sounds. I like this theory versus emotion. Does music need to be structured? These are pretty good here. I like that, Chris. Hold on. Keep the titles coming here. I'm opening up a new thing here. Bartók in 1945. Yeah, Stravinsky in 71. That's right. Fascinating type of what those composers skipped. Yeah, I really think that they skipped over, a modal. I think they skipped over modal music. And I mean, you can say, okay, well, there's Messiaen wrote modal pieces, but not in the kind of modal pieces like I'm talking about. Um, is music instinctual? That's a great title there, David. I like that. Man, you guys are like the best title writers ever. Was it Music versus Emotion? Alan Hovan. Yeah, that's right. Why should we care about the theory behind it? Subi, that's a title, right? See, Adam's already doing a talk like that about music theory versus emotion. Okay, that's good. I'm wondering too, if, because I had a video called "Emotion Equals Dissonance." I don't know if I'm going to have a piano or what I'm going to have for the talk. Why Bach didn't play the guitar. This is something that comes up all the time. Ooh, I like self-taught versus schooled. 261 Pro. I wish you'd capitalized that. That's my Rick. The saddest music version. Theory versus emotion sounds like a right brain, left brain. It does. That could actually somehow be in the title too. Okay. Is musical perception innate or is it acquired? Oh, that's great. That is great. If I have a title, I can do this. Why does music bring a tear to your eye? That's almost like a TED Talk right there. The soul of music theory. I like that, Tom. Oh man, you guys are the best at this. So here's a common topic that people are always saying, and I always bring it up, right? Like, do you think that they knew the theory behind this? And of course, it's like, of course they didn't know the theory behind this, right? Is it important to know the theory behind it? So my buddy Camilo wrote a comment in Nirvana, and he said, "You think if Kurt Cobain knew the theory like this, that he wouldn't that he wouldn't be able to write, or that he would be too concerned with it, wouldn't be able to write songs like this?" I'm like, man, people write what sounds good to them. Ultimately, people don't write. People don't think. People don't think about that. I don't think they do. Most people don't. Well, no, people that write just strictly from an academic point of view do. David Kirtley, listen with head or heart? Question mark. That's a good title. Is musical education necessary? Teary-eyed chord theory. That's a good title, Jason. The joy of music. Let's see here. But the idea. Oh, did Kurt Cobain know what he said? No. Of course, he didn't know that he's writing and using sharp 11s. He just did what sounded good. And he just had a great instinct for what sounded good. He just had a natural sense of melody. Traveling Riverside, Kurt took it very seriously. Why wouldn't you think he took it seriously? He thought about this. He reworked these melodies all the time. From heart to chart. From heart to chart. Theory, reverse engineers, emotion, the mother of songwriting. These are great, Aaron. I like that. Man, you guys are the title. This is the greatest YouTube collection of people here. YouTube contributors here. From Bach to Barry. That's good. Okay, did Bach know theory? Of course he did. So did Beethoven. So did all the famous composers. Did it affect their music? Of course it didn't affect it. It enhanced it. It enhanced it. They had to. The only way they could communicate is through the written, Double K, don't go putting me in that group there. I don't belong in that. You need to delete that. Delete me out of that. Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms. Making emotion audible. Musical composition. Making emotion audible. Mark, that is a good title right there. The language of sound. Harry. Man, that's good. Theory of emotion. These are incredible. From Barry to boy bands. That's IBJ. That's kind of scary there. I don't even want to think about that. Let's see here. What's it mean to be self-taught? That would be a great title right there. What does it mean to be self-taught? You never went to college, never had a lesson. I mean, yeah. I mean, what does it mean to be self-taught? It's kind of like these people that say Wes Montgomery couldn't even read music, right? I always mention that. So it's like kind of a dumb thing. Yeah, most guitar players can't read music. They just can't. That doesn't mean he doesn't know what he was playing. He knew when to put 2 5s in. If you watch his video where he's in 1965, he's playing with his trio from Amsterdam, Pim Jacobs and who's a piano player, his brother playing bass, and I forget who the drummer was. Drummer's still alive, I'm pretty sure. But Wes is explaining the changes to these to a tune, and he's going over all the then it goes to this key, it's a 2-5 in this key, and then you go here and it goes to D flat, and then it does this turn. I mean, Wes is going through the whole thing, just teaching it. We are all self-taught. That is a title right there. Ronnie, music, the key to happiness. I like that. Theory, sharpening the tools in your songwriting toolbox. These are great. Theory of emotion. That's great. I like that, Double K. Yes, Dylan. That's better. Dylan is, he keeps coming down here. Keeps coming in and saying, he's obsessed with his cable management of his computer. Everything has to be in the exact right spot. He doesn't have anything that is he has nothing out of place. He came in here a little while ago, and I said, Dylan, what's this? I mean, he won't ever do any chords or anything, but I played a couple things because he wanted something, and he's just like, F sharp, F over F major over F sharp major, and I said, Dylan, you don't even. What? I said, how do you do it so fast? He says, I don't even think about it, and just cracks me up. I don't even think about it. I play a 6-note chord, polychord, right? And he's just, oh, Dylan would hate a patch bay, Dean. It's way too. He'd freak out. He'd have to have all the same length patch cables. Okay, what have I addressed? Music color for the ears. That's a good title, John. I like that. Why I Can't Stop Teaching Music. Great title, Deb. Oh, yeah. Malcolm Gladwell. Okay, yeah. I don't believe in that. I don't agree with it. You asked a friend, how can you just draw a portrait? He said, how can't you? I love that. The color of sound is really good, though. That is great. The color of sound. Yeah. That could be a good yeah. The color of sound. Melody, harmony, rhythm, and lyrics, the building blocks of music. Long Trang, what's up? You didn't even see Dylan's videos? You got too depressed? He's too good at hearing music. Let's see. How can you spell music without I? That's good. The one true religion. Ooh, I like that. Color of sound is really great. Music, more than just black and white. Oboe practice. Aunt Penny asked Dylan about his oboe, and Dylan's like, what's up, SB? He was, he's such a slacker. The art of noise, the sound of music. The sound of music, that sounds familiar. Soundscapes of life and emotion, that's good. Do I think there's levels of ability amongst people who have perfect pitch? Can you have better perfect pitch than someone else who has perfect pitch? Absolutely. Favorite topic here. Somebody left in the comments of Nirvana. I don't like how you're talking about the Nirvana song in the key, because I talked about in the key as if it was in the key of E, because people complain when I talk about the key, when they tune down a half step, everything's down in E flat, so the F sharp power chord becomes F. But I'm playing at the second fret to get the riff out, so it sounds like it, right? And then people that don't have perfect pitch see me playing at F sharp, and calling it F. And this guy's whining, saying, for those of us that have perfect pitch, I found it slightly annoying to watch the video. And I say in there that, that I'm going to talk about it as if it's in the key of what I'm playing for guitar players. And I told the guy, I said, don't give me this perfect pitch garbage. I said, I got everybody that comes into my studio is perfect pitch. It's no big deal. If they can get over the fact that I'm doing this, nobody cares about your perfect pitch, dude. I said something like that. Something really annoying and very Rick-like. But the variance and perfect pitch is pretty great, actually. Dylan does not have a piano in his room. Dylan doesn't ever play the piano anymore. Do improvisers hear what they play before they actually play it? Or do their hands... probably most don't. The good ones do, of course. Ethan, sad? It's not sad. No. Sad would be not doing what you want to do in life. Not being able to... not living in a free society. Where you're free to, start whatever business you want to start or whatever it is. That would be sad, or giving up is sad. That's sad. Music, the cornerstone of humanity. C7. I like it. What does it mean to make it today? That's kind of like my video that I did, but I never really explained what making it meant. Peachhead, what's up? Being rich is doing whatever you want all day long. That's right. So, daughter quit violin because she can play the exact tone she wanted, Thomas. Paul, the improvisational brain. That is great. I like that too. These can be all topics of titles of videos that I can make. Let's see. What's Harry just say there? Perfect pitch doesn't make someone a deep listener of music or creative person. Used properly can be a huge advantage, but if you're using the way the troll uses it, it's just a parlor trick. Well, it's just some people's chance just to say that, I've got, they're bothered because I'm talking about it. And, who cares, I didn't dwell on the pitches. I talked about the chord tones in relation to the roots for that particular reason. It's easier to say the sharp 4 of a chord, okay, than to say that it's, that it's a G on a D flat major chord. Do I hear music in my dreams? No, I don't even remember my dreams. I don't hear anything in my dreams. I am a person that never thinks about music when when I walk out of the studio, when I'm working with a band. I don't even think about it. I figured out where this guitar case comes from. Oh, man. We were trying to figure out. Aaron was here, and he says, whose guitar is this? I said, I have no idea whose guitar that is. And I just realized it's Rhett's guitar that he left here. I had an extra guitar case sitting here in the studio, and Rhett was over here, and he left his resonator here because I was using it for a video. And I was thinking, where is this? What guitar is that? I got a new guitar that I didn't, from somewhere. McCartney yesterday came to him in a dream. I used to dream about music when I was in my 20s. Definitely used to dream about music. Yeah. Music, a love affair with no regrets. That is great, Mark. Did he leave his new pedal board? No, but I actually watched Rhett's video, his pedal board video, and that's not typically my kind of video. I find things like that kind of tedious. Even though I like the idea of constructing stuff, I like building it myself or being involved with it. I find it fascinating. Is there some music I don't like? Yes, there's plenty of music I don't like. Plenty of music I don't like. But I don't like to dwell on music that I don't like. And I don't like to trash music that I don't like. You know, when people says, why don't you do a video about why the song sucks or something like that? It's like, why do I want to do a video on negative, on saying what's bad about something? What is, why do that? Why do that? I think that, it's, I just think it's a waste of energy to do that. I really do. There's too much negativity around. I totally agree, Mark. Really agree. Iron Man, that's right. It's negativity is anti-creativity. It's anti-creativity. It's not interesting. Fatback, you're right. It's just not. It's not an interesting conversation, I don't think. Now, it's one thing if you're talking about something that has. If you're talking about how to how to improve something, that's one thing. I'm all about that. I'm all about that. If you had done this there, it would be better. Critiquing someone's song instead of saying why it's bad, and I always say how to make it better. Off topic, I always wonder how Dylan learned Blue and Green. He was 5 when he learned it, PJ. Dylan learned Blue and Green because he could, he knew the chords. Because I taught Dylan how to play a 13 flat 9 chord and A major over B flat and all these chords. I taught him when he was 5 years old. So he could look at the chord chart and I'd sing him the melody. He'd hear the melody and he'd look at the chords and put the chords with the melody. And that's how you do it, It's cool. It's cool, and that's a real skill to have, right? I mean, it's reading a lead sheet. Read the melody. Put the melody at the top note of the chord. I taught him what the inversions were. If it's got a I mean, there were some things where I said, you'll have an E in the melody, and it'll be a B flat major 7 chord, right? So I have the sharp 4 in the melody. I think there's a spot where it has a sharp 4 in the melody, and I said, and I remember I would say like, hey Dylan, instead of playing something with like that, I said, you could actually play this. And play an A major triad there with the E as the top note. And he said, oh, that's cool. And then I just go in and I just write A major over B flat instead as a substitute. So that's how he learned how to play it. Was music invented or discovered? Discovered. Dylan does not play keyboards anymore. I think it's discovered. Because it's part of the overtone series. Anytime you strike a string, it creates the overtone series. Every time you blow through a pipe, it creates the overtone series. With Dylan's memory, how quickly could he learn the shapes of the major scale on the guitar as well as the interval of each note. 1 or 2 days. How long? Well, that depends. Dylan, if he was motivated, probably no time. But you can't give people motivation. That's a talk right there. You can't teach motivation. The idea of plucking a string. I think that people noticed overtones when they were singing, or somebody get a cold, and or two people harmonizing together in fifths, and realizing that they hear an extra note when they do it. Oh, sing that again. You can't teach motivation, right? Gene. Motivation versus ambition. Okay, now we're getting into some stuff here. This is some Rick topic stuff here. Mic drop. You can't teach motivation. That's right. You cannot teach motivation. Doesn't matter how good your kid is. If you're not motivated, forget it. And you can't yell at your kids into being, good on an instrument. Determination versus motivation. I got to think about that. Is determination different than motivation? Okay, let me take a little. Do you ever bust his chops? I don't bust his chops. HK, what's up? Long time no see. Yeah, harmonics, overtones. Yep, harmonics, exactly. As teachers, how can we encourage motivation? I'm not sure you can. Determination is playing the same riff for 2 hours till you get it down. What is motivation, though? What is motivation, then? Motivation is knowing that when you play that riff that you're going to have a big hit song and make $1 million. Is that motivation? I don't know. What is motivation? Is motivation for artists I used to work with would be them getting a record deal. They were motivated by stuff like that. Motivation is wanting to play the riff. The will to overcome. Motivation comes how you were raised. Right. That's right. Passion is motivation. My never gave up video was determination. Yes. Okay, wait. Aaron, motivation is end goal. Determination is the will to execute. There you go. That's true. PJ, you can't imagine the gravity of music and Dylan's intrinsic talent not drawing him back to the piano. Well, once again, it's I was always motivated by things I was good at, made me want to get better at them. Dylan doesn't share that same thing. I have an intense curiosity, just natural curiosity for learning. And that is my motivation. Motivation and determination, building blocks for success. These are great. These are great. Now we're on to something I can really talk about. The will to create. That's a great title, Harry. Motivation is the result of inspiration. When I was his age, what? Was I motivated? I was motivated in sports when I was Dylan's age. Dylan's motivated by video games. He loves playing video games. He will talk about them. He will watch videos on them to get better. He's motivated to get better. That's what he's psyched about, you know? And when he's psyched about something, he's in 1,000% all day. HK, thank you. Motivation teaching is knowing that there's something new to explore every day. That's right. That is right. Thank you, sir. What are Dylan's favorite video games? Fortnite. He's all over. But here's the thing: is that I say to Dylan, "Well, Dylan, are you good in Fortnite?" And it is a scourge on our children. I agree with you, PJ. I agree, totally agree. You know, and Dylan doesn't like that desire to be the best at something is I don't know. It's hard to if you don't care about that, can you who did it better? Ruining music, Fortnite versus UMG. Dylan's 11, just turned 11. Motivation, keep the family going on in the music, not games. Alex, what kind of interval is E sharp to F flat? An ascending one since E is to F, but the sound goes down. That is great. I think I used that in a video recently. I was talking about that. I said to somebody, "What is this interval?" And it stumped everyone. Maybe it was in my master class or something, and everyone was stumped about it. And it was something like that. Daryl, you're in Atlanta. Have I seen Amadeus? Of course, saw it in the theater. C flat to B sharp. Yeah, C flat to B sharp. Living beings when he realizes the video games won't get girls' attention, right? Wait, Harry, your teacher was convinced that athletes make great musicians with excellent hand-eye coordination, drive to succeed. Totally agree. I totally agree with that. Most of the people in my high school that were that played in the band were very good that played in the band and orchestra that were very good were athletes. Totally agree with that. I was a very good athlete in multiple sports, and my intensity in training and playing sports every day for practice killing myself all the time was, I think about it as exactly like, I'm like a jock with music. I am. I hate to say it. I'm incredibly competitive. You guys know I'm competitive. And what sports? Well, I went to college. I started college as on a track scholarship. That's actually how I got in, because my grades were so bad. But I played basketball. I played baseball. So IBJ, what's this? You had a life changing when you 10-11 Hendricks died. Okay, well that's good that you did something, that you got something good out of it. Renzo, I tried to be competitive but lacked discipline. That's good. I have a feeling Jimmy Page couldn't do a layup to save his life. You never know. I bet Robert Plant was a good athlete, though. You know, I've interviewed people who play 10 hours a day. When I interviewed Scott Henderson, I said, so, Scott, how much do you practice every day? He said 12 hours. I mean, he's 63 years old. He practices 12 hours a day. You know, my brother John, I talked to him today, and I said, you practice your guitar today? He said, yep. I said, how long? And he said 2 hours, something like that. And every day my brother practices. He started practicing when we were, when he was 10 and I was 14 or whatever. When he was 9, we took up the guitar at exactly the same time. And but he's obsessed with it. Can you get worse at playing music when you get older? If you get arthritis, you can, But no, I don't think, it really depends. And I'm not related to the Beato bag folks, Deb. I used to get asked that a lot. If I didn't have to do anything, if I was independently wealthy and I didn't have to work, I would do this. I would do exactly what I'm doing, but I would practice more. As you get older, do you find it harder to learn new pieces? I don't. It depends on who it is. Depends on who it is. How many Beato brothers? I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Mick Jagger. Oh my God! Follow him on Instagram. You want to think of? You want to see somebody that is in incredibly good shape, that exercises all the time? Mick Jagger. I just started following him on Instagram. Unbelievable. He's moving. He's so into it. It's ridiculous. He's got to be 75 years old. So there you go. Jagger equals energy. That's a video right there. But he has great Instagram pictures. You guys should follow him. He's got to be the healthiest human. Really, it's unreal. And I saw McCartney on TV, and he's letting his hair go gray. It looks like, which is about time. Come on, Paul. Okay, Mick Jagger is with 2 G's. Everybody, come on. All right, I gotta go. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. No one better. No one better. I don't think Jagger was a druggie ever. I don't think so. I think his dad was like a gym teacher or something like that. And Ringo Starr looks great, Renzo. You're right. He looks so young. McCartney looks younger than his oldest son. Yeah, my hair is getting darker. What is up with that? My Aunt Penny said that too. She said my hair looks darker. How is that possible? I mean, seriously, I don't even know. HK, thank you. The best. Thank you. See you guys.